Right. So today for our second session, I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen again. Um, we're gonna see screen on. Just let me know if you see it. Ooh,
Yes.
I'll just put it here. Make it smaller. Right. So what I've done since last time is I've amended our roadmap with some more subjects that we're going to go through. So our roadmap looks something like this now. And here's where we are. So we are at session 2, and this is our overview. So today we're going to go through areas of CRM. We're going to go through entities and what is an entity, forms, views, some of the security concepts, not really security because that's really complicated, but some of the concepts around it, and relationships, because relationships are a big thing in Dynamics CRM. So for this, I've also created a quick PowerPoint because it's just easier for me to follow this. So within areas of CRM, we actually have, right, so within areas of CRM, we actually have a few. The most important ones are sales, marketing, service, and now we've got operations as well. So you probably don't know this, but CRM started off as this teeny tiny product. It started off with CRM point one, I believe, and it only did a little bit of sales and marketing. And then as they added on to this functionality, now they're doing sales, loads of more marketing, and they're promising this brand new marketing module as well, where they're gonna do really cool emails and reporting, such as whether someone received your email or if they clicked on it. They're gonna do SMS as well, and again reporting whether someone's received your email or not, or whether it bounced back, and all sorts of testing for your marketing and branding campaigns. But this is just to come. For now, we only have marketing lists and campaigns within CRM. We also have servicing. So servicing normally comes after sales, but you can use it on its own as well. And that deals with cases, with entitlements that actually used to be called contracts. So you would draw up a contract, and then based on that contract, you would service that customer. Now they're called entitlements because they also come with service level agreements. So they're really complex now, and they know whether a customer has bought from you and what they've bought from you and what's their contract, and they let you these entitlements, they let you know whether you're in between that service level agreement or not. And then we have operations, which I believe used to be Dynamics Nav. So there's three parts of Dynamics. There used to be Dynamics CRM, Dynamics Nav, which was for operations, and Dynamics AX, which is for financials and stuff like that. So we've got operations now as well. We're mostly going to be dealing with sales, but it's good to know, to go through all of the areas. So this is my trial. Oh, on the other screen. This is my trial. Within my trial CRM, if you guys remember, I said we were gonna bring all of the areas just for you to see them. So we've got sales here, service, marketing, field service, project service, resource scheduling. These are all operations, settings, and training. We're gonna go into the training module as well today, because this is really something very cool they've added in Dynamics 365. So going back to sales, the most important things that we are going to learn about sales are these two things: leads and opportunities. Leads and opportunities are the core of our sales. And this is what we are interested in, and our exam will be based on leads and opportunities as well. Basically, a lead will, oh, let me just make this smaller. Right, cool. So a lead will let you record information about a potential client. So let's just say you've went onto presentation, or just ignore this error. Always allow. You went onto a presentation, or you went out on a lunch, and you hear that someone might be interested in what you're selling, or what your company is selling. Let's just say you're a sales individual, and you are selling flowers. You're selling flowers. You're doing flower arrangements. This is what you're doing. And you hear that this person who you've just met, they're doing a wedding. So you'd quite like to service them because you're doing flower arrangements. So what you would do, you would take some details, maybe a business card, maybe just a phone number and the name, anything, and you would record it here. Now, Dynamic CRM, it's an online system. This means that you can access it on your phone, on your tablet, everywhere. So let's just say you've got it on your phone, and you just press new. So I just clicked new. I just went on to leads. You click new. You just put a topic and say potential bride to buy flowers. And let's just say their name is Jenny K. And you've got a phone number as well. They've given you their phone number. And that's it. And now you've saved this record. Now this, for CRM and for your business, this is a lead. You are interested in this lead because it can turn into a potential sale. And it's very important for our business and for your client's business. So oftentimes in your job as a functional consultant with Dynamic CRM, you will be asked to possibly design these forms. This is a form. This is a form in Dynamic CRM. A form is nothing more than a collection of fields. So what we've done now is we've recorded a lead. I'm just going to go back to my PowerPoint now a little bit. And we are here. So we are here. Not quite in order, but that's fine. So you have just recorded a lead. The way you've recorded it is that you've clicked plus on that sign. So this is what you've done. I'm just going to close this down. Microsoft will ask you to send reports whenever they think something's a bit slow or doesn't really work. I'm going to show you how to disable those in a minute. So you've clicked here, and then you've created what we call a new record. So a new record within CRM is actually a new instance of an entity. Entities are a term you will hear about a lot. Entities are like containers that have information, like a table, if you will. If you've ever worked with databases, or even with Excel, or with doc, with anything. The moment you've got a line of something, of information, you've got a record. For CRM, these are being held in entities. And these entities, these containers, they can hold loads of records. So in our case, Jenny is one record. A lead has multiple fields. So we've got these many fields because we wanna store information about this person. This is how we actually compose a record. So when working with Dynamics CRM, you will see that within an entity, such as our lead, you can add more fields. So let's just say that apart from name, topic, job title, and whatever I've got here, maybe I've got a nickname for them. Maybe this person that I'm talking to, they prefer to be called something else, and you might want to record that because you want a good relationship with your user. With your client. And this is why you would record an extra field that's not there. It is possible to customize this entity and to add another field. For now, we're gonna work with what we call out-of-the-box fields, which is just a collection of fields Dynamics comes with. Our form looks like that. This is a brand new form. You can see it's actually quite pretty. It's very organized. It's got a few standard bits, such as our summary here with some fields. Again, this can be modified as well. We can bring other fields in here. We've got our social pane, and we've got related entities over here. We're going to speak about relationships in a bit. Within our social form, this is something some of the companies really like. They use these very similar to Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media. So once you've added this customer, someone in your organization can say, "Great job." And this is like a comment on Facebook. Organizations love that very much. They use this. Or you can like my record as well. All of this goes onto this form, but we can have multiple forms. So this is one form that everyone uses. This is just what CRM comes with. But we can create multiple forms for each type of users. Let's just say that a salesperson will see this form, but a sales manager would see a lot more. For example, a sales manager might want to see whether we've sold something to this person somewhere in the past. So they would know this is actually not a lead. This is very important to our organization. It's a client of our organization. It's not a potential customer. It's actually a customer. But only a manager will be able to see this because they just want to keep their important information or crucial information, if you will, for themselves. Maybe the salespeople are not senior enough. So this is really just an example of how we can work with these. Another type of form, again, out of the box form, it's a quick create form. If we click on this plus instead of this new button here, on this plus, let's just say we're in a hurry or we are even on another record, we can click on this. And from here on, we have a number of entities that can do quick creates. One of them should be lead. Here it is. So the quick create form kind of drops from above, and it has a limited amount of fields, only the very important ones you want to add at first. So for this, you would only add the topic, let's just say Bright2. And the last name, let's just say Smith. And you'd save it. And you would only do this so that you remember to go back and enter more information. You can view the record straight away. Oh, I don't know if I've clicked it. But if I go back, you can see this way of navigating here. I've got two types of arrows here. I've got an arrow pointing down. When an arrow points down means that I've got something below this big menu. In my case, I've got all of the other applications for Dynamics here. Under sales, I've got all of the other important areas of CRM. But then leads has a different type of arrow. And it has a different type of arrow because it's saying that Jenny K is a record of type lead. If we click on Jenny K here, we can see it can relate to other things as well, such as activities. If we go to activities, activities are another type of record. We will go into activities a bit later on, but we can see that CRM knew that I was on this record and that I actually wanted to know more about it. So it kept my record even though it took me somewhere else. This is how these arrows kind of work. If we click on leads, CRM knows that I actually want to know something about leads, and it shows me all of the recent leads that I've been working on. So it remembers this. If you click on a record multiple times, it knows that, you know, this is where you've been last time. So I'll just go on to this one. This is the one that I've just created using the quick create view. So going here, I can see straight away that I only have this information here, and I need to fill in the mobile phone number, and I need to put some comments in, and you know, all of the information that this lead needs for me to be able to make a sale. So this is a very important type of entity within sales, which is what we are looking on at the moment. Right, so I've been talking about entities. As I said, entities are containers. I'm just going to put this here as well. No, okay. Are containers where we store data. I drew them like that because they're like boxes of information. This is, within these boxes, we have records. When we come to think of a CRM, it is very important that we understand what entities we have straight away, such as the lead entity that we've just been into, and what we can do with them. Once we know that, it's very important that we draw them out. So what you see here is actually an entity relationship diagram. It's called an entity relationship diagram because it contains all of the most important entities that we are going to use in our project and how they talk to each other. Once we begin doing a project, when we start working on a project, it's important to have this type of drawing. I'm not saying that you will have to do it, but someone in your team will have to come up with a design because CRM is really very tricky. Oftentimes, when we create a record, what we cannot do is delete it. So if our relationship diagram is not correct, we might end up with loads of information all over the place that we cannot see, we can't report on, and we cannot use in our day-to-day business. So it's very important that we draw an entity's relationship diagram. In my diagram, we have something very, very simple. We've got a contact, an account, a user, which in our case would be a salesperson, and an opportunity. So, an account represents a company we work with, or we're trying to sell something to. Within those accounts, we have contacts. So this is the company, this is the person who works for the company and who we are talking to actually. I've got opportunity here because leads, this thing here that we've talked about, that is actually our prospective sale. If we convince our customer, in our case Jenny, that she should buy the flower arrangements from us, at that point, that for us is a sales opportunity. So we go from a lead, from a prospective customer, into a sales opportunity. And from then on, we are going to work with the opportunity. This is why all of my entities on my relationship diagram here go onto the opportunity. These are the most important things that I'm going to do with my business. I'm going to have companies selling to. I'm going to have contacts selling to that are either people who work for a company or individual people who are just buying from me. And I'm going to have a salesperson who takes care of all of that. And I'm going to have a sales opportunity. Again, this is really very simple. I don't want to show you the horrendous diagrams of entities real life companies use. So it's very important to know these concepts very early on. As you can see here, the account seems to be talking to a contact. How it does that is through relationships. So relationships within CRM, they refer to entities. Entities contain records, right? We've already established that. These records relate to other records in three big ways. It can either be a one-to-many relationship, a many-to-one relationship, and a many-to-many relationship. And to explain this better, first of all, don't do the many-to-many, because it always causes problems. And then to explain this better, what relationships mean and how we can use them, we're going to go into a quick example with a contact and an account, what we had here, a contact and an account. So if I go into sales, I've got here accounts and contacts. As I was saying earlier, a contact is a person I'm dealing with. I've got here my active contacts, but as I was saying, last time when we met, CRM comes with a bunch of data out of the box, so you can just go on to active contacts, and most likely I'll have some. So I've got active contacts. I'll just choose the first one, and that's not because it's a Romanian name, even though it is. This is how a contact looks like. So how it comes out of the box, you can see it's got many a lot of information here. What's their name? What's their position? Who do they work for? Account name. What's their email address? Their business phone number, preferred method of contact, and address. This is what we've got here for this contact. This is a person that we can call and communicate with. They work for Adventure Works. If we click here, it will take us to their company. This is a relationship. this was this is a one-to-end relationships for account to contacts. One account or one company has many contacts or many people working for them. When I went from company onto the account, we can see here CRM took me straight away to the account details. I've got the account name, phone number, website, symbol, all of that. But I also have a primary contact here, which is just a flag. Basically, within a company, I can put a flag on who's the most important person working for them. Not important for the company, but important for me. And for me, the most important person is not necessarily the CEO or the very big director. It might be their assistant because I'm talking to her. I want her to arrange the meeting. I want her to make my communication with the CEO easy. I want her to read my documents and all of that, right? So the most important person for me will be the primary contact here. I can choose the primary contact by clicking this button here, this little button here. Whenever, another thing to note, whenever I have a relationship between two entities, I will have this little thing here because it will help me choose a record, a record. So in here, if I just delete this, I'll just click clear search. I can choose the other contact to be my primary contact. I'll click add, and that's it. It's changed it straight away. So it's very responsive, it's very fast into changing your information straight away. So this is my primary contact, but we can also see here a list of contacts. So going back, when I have a one-to-N relationship or a one-to-many relationship, on the form, if I've got that one-to-N relationship, I will see something that we call subgrids. We call them subgrids because they look like a grid and they sit in a form. So they are under a form, ergo subgrids. I have here two contacts. This means that my company relates to two employees, two contacts. This is a one-to-N relationship. If I'm going on the contact, I can select this company or change the company in case they've moved work. So again, this is very, very important for us, how relationships work. So when I've got a relationship, when I've got a one-to-N relationships, I only see one person here. I only see one record here. When I have a many-to-one relationship, I see a grid over here, such as I have with cases over here, right? Because I have access to many records. A many-to-many relationship will both have some subgrids. This means that many things can relate to many things. To give you an example of a many-to-many relationships, let's just say we have an activity record, like I showed you before. Activity records are, for example, an email, and I've got many people included in that email as a sender, and I've got many emails to the same person. This means that an email can contain many people, and the person can send many emails. That's a many-to-many relationship. It's an out-of-the-box or a vanilla one. When we create many-to-many relationships in a custom environment, we can get into trouble And the best thing to do is to realize why. Why do we need a many-to-many relationship? Try and find out whether we can do it differently, because as I said, it's very, very complicated to then delete any information out of CRM. Right. So what have you got so far? Oh, I don't want to go into security just yet. So going back to forms, this is another form. This is for contact. You've seen the one for account as well. They all look pretty much the same. These forms have been changed as we went from version to version to version to version of Dynamic CRM. Version 9, which is the latest one, has even better forms. Instead of version 9, actually, instead of having these we call tabs. They actually have real tabs, like normal tabs. They look like this when you go from one side to the other. But the important thing here is to note that when we are doing an upgrade exercise from a CRM version to another CRM version, their forms need to change. So what you need to know is that if someone's talking about upgrading their dynamic CRM, or if they're online, it will happen anyway because Microsoft updates it for you. Just raise a flag that their forms might need to change as well. That doesn't mean they're not supported, or all forms are supported as well, but just raise the fact that they might want to use the new forms. So this is something important to note. Right. As you've seen, if I click on contacts here, it will take me to a list of contacts, and I can change this list of contacts by just changing the list here. Now these lists are called view. This is a view of contacts. This is a view of the active contacts. This is a subgrid view. So again, a subgrid is something that we put on the form. And in our case, it only has the full name and the email address. So what you can do with views is, first of all, do not confuse them with forms. When someone tells you, oh, I don't like the view because there's too many fields on there, or I have to scroll too low down, or I need the phone number higher up. They're not talking about the view, they're talking about a form, and it's very important for us to recognize that a form is not a view. So a view for us is a list of records on top of which we have applied a selection criteria. We can easily create our own views by clicking this little funnel here. It says Advanced Find. So within Advanced Find, we can create our own view by making a query. So it says here, I'm looking for contacts where the status is active. I'll just quickly show an example on something I know it will work. I'm going to go back to leads. Leads. So I'm selecting a new view, where the name, I can type stuff and it will take me straight to the form I'm talking about. When the name, not that it equals, but begins with this. And then I click on results. And it found my lead. So this is how we can find stuff. These advanced finds can become quite complex in themselves, and they're a very, very strong tool for us and our clients. So it's worth having a look at these as well. As soon as we've done this, what I can do is click on back on advanced find and click save. When I've clicked save, I'll say just view, I'll say just view with Jenny, because it's just the selection criteria that I've chosen. I'll click save. And what happens here is once I've saved this, I can close this down now. Once I've saved this, if I go back to my list of views and I refresh before, I will actually see my personal view. So everyone can create their own personal view for things that they're looking for often. Oh, of course I didn't see my view because I was on contacts, not on leads. So if I go on leads, I will say view with Jenny. So as I said, it works pretty much straight away. It's really, really cool. I'll just show you one quick thing. They've added this functionality within Dynamics 365, which I think is absolute golden. And this is the Help Hub. This Help Hub provides training. We can find it here at this little question mark, or we can go click on sales. So every time I want to go onto the main menu, just click on the first arrow down. And I've got training here. And then Help Center. It will open it in a new window, as you see, so that you can find anything that you want. Training classes, accessibility, GDPR, all sorts of other things. And if I'm here and click on this, oh, come on. Okay. I'll just go onto a lead for it to open in line. Right, so now it opened my Help Hub in a new tab, and it tells me here I'm on a lead. So my Help Hub says create or edit a lead. This is a sales or a sales hub. This is how you can create a lead. This is what lookup records are. This is what you can do with a lead. This is how you qualify with a lead. This is how you reopen a lead. All sorts of useful information. Anytime you forget on how to do something, you have this little question mark here that will tell you stuff straight away. And I think is really very useful for all of us. The other thing that I quickly wanted to show you, I'm aware I'm 1 minute over our time. So if you guys have to leave, that's fine. Oh no. Sorry, I need to plug in quickly because otherwise I'll leave. Done. Right. So the other thing that I wanted to show you was the security. So security is something of a big deal with Dynamics CRM. We can find it under settings, and security. It's got a padlock. It's kind of a big deal because this is how you control who gets into your system and what they do. It's also hugely complicated. It relies on every record, every field. You can do everything with it. So I'll just click on, no, I'll just create a new. So you've got security roles here. 3 things to know about security roles. 1, a user can have multiple security roles. 2, the user will have the most powerful security role. So if you've got, for example, if you've given them a sales project, a salesperson, a schedule manager, and the system administrator, there will be a system administrator. So CRM will just ignore the other security roles that you've given them. So it's like a composition of roles. They'll take the most powerful role that they can get. And then you can set your security role per entity and then per user group. So you can see here these colors. So red means I've got no access to nothing. Yellow means I've only got access to the records I've created. Green means I've got access to everything. Half yellow means I've only got access to records created by me or people in my business unit, in my department. And there's this other parent-child business unit security role that isn't really very much used, but it means that if I have created a record, I will have access to that record and all of his children as well, even though another person has created the child records, how it was in our case with the account as the parent record and contacts the children records, right? Once you've got access to the account, you've got access to the children as well. This is how it works. Right. So today we've been through quite a lot. I know it's been quite a lot. It's been an introduction of a CRM system overall. What's it composed of? How do records relate to each other and why is that useful for us to know? A little bit of security and forms and views. And I know it's been a lot and a little bit all over the place because it's, this is a massive system. But we really don't have, in order to get into details, we needed to know this basic information. So next time we're gonna go into the book and we're gonna talk about the leads life cycle and the opportunities life cycle. And for us to be able to do that, we needed to know what a lead is, what an entity is, what a record is, and so on. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Everyone tired? Nice and bored? Yeah?
Thanks, Anna. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Happy International Women's Day
Thank you.
again. I'm hoping you're going to go have a drink now and relax.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.
Really like these arbitrary categories.
Hey, Anna.
Yeah.
I sent you an email with the link in. If that's not the right one, then just let me know. I sent you as well.
I didn't get it. That was it.
Did you get the login details?
No, I didn't get it.
Okay.
I didn't get the email. Can you please resend it?
I'll send it to you.
Thank you. It's just because I need to, as I said, extend it, and you know, I don't want to send 1,000 emails to the person helping us.
All right, I'll do that now.
Thank you very much. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a lot, but it was really good.
It
Now
was,
to get dinner.
yeah.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye. See you.